So, my name is Katerina. I'm with the commercial team at ZEOS. And today I would like to guide you through on how to master the unified commerce and specifically on how to scale profitably across different channels. So, before we actually jump into the sales channels itself, let's have a look at the customers which are driving the demand towards different sales channels. And specifically, I would like to talk about two different generations which are defining the current and the future state of the commerce, however, in different directions. So let's first start with Gen Zs. Who are Gen Zs? Gen Zs are the customers below 30. They are digital driven, they are mobile first, and they are hungry for innovation. For them, omnichannel is just a default. And in case it's not present, they don't hesitate to walk away. This is the only generation which is absolutely not brand loyal. 50% of Gen Zs are actually willing to scout and shop for the new brands if the price is right. And then, on another hand, we have the silver spenders. Who are the silver spenders, you ask? Silver spenders are the customers above 50, and they're being often overseen, yet they're contributing to around 50% of the global spending growth in 2025. Silver spenders have wealth, they have resilience, and they have the habits which support their strong margins. Those are the customers who prefer to shop on the multi-channel platforms, and on contrary to Gen Zs, they actually brand loyal if the brand is delivering the value. So now we do have two groups of people, two generations, which do define different spectrums of the demand from highly engaged and highly mobile towards the brand dependent. And in order to master the unified e-commerce, it is extremely important to cover all of the demand from both of the ends. So now we have the wide spectrum of the demand from different generations. And as we see, the fashion industry is decisively omnichannel. So where do you need to be present in order to make sure that you are mastering the unified commerce? Let's have a deeper look at three main sales channels. First, own.com. Own.com growing rapidly. own.com is expected to reach 100 billion euros in GMV by 2027, which would make up around 50% of all of the online fashion sales. Own.com, this is the place where you gain most of the margin, obviously. This is the place where you have the control, and there you get the insights. And then on the other hand, we do have marketplaces. Marketplaces contribute to 32 billion euros in GMV currently, and then they make up to around quarter of the online fashion sales. This is the place where you drive reach and discovery at scale. Last but not least, social commerce. Well, social commerce is booming currently and is expected to grow by around 14% year over year for the next 4 years. Driven by the Gen Z generation and by the Gen Z generation, it's not just a place to engage. This is a place to. It is a highly conversion market. And in order to make sure that you are scaling up and you are mastering the unified commerce, it is extremely important to play and scale across all of the three sales channels. And while the opportunity is massive, the execution part on different sales channels is anything but easy. Looking back at 10 to 15 years ago, and I still remember my first purchase from Zalando, logistics was a competitive advantage. Having the home delivery, free of charge returns, as well as live tracking of your order was something outstanding that would set you apart. Today, this is nothing else but the cost of entry. Not having the wish delivery service would put you in the risk not only of getting the bad review, but it would also put you in the risk of losing the loyal customers. And gaining the new customers come at a cost. Logistics today defines actually what customers see. Having the fast and consistent delivery is not only driving the customer satisfaction, it is actually defining the catalog visibility. Products which meet the SLAs actually have the higher visibility. They do have the premium badge and they do being prioritized on the filter searches. On Zalando, brands who deliver consistently actually see up to 3 times uplift in their visibility. On the other hand, logistics also drives the conversion rate. We see that 14% of the customers leave their cart in case the shipping solution or shipping option which they desire is not available. And last but not least, logistics also defines the customer satisfaction because customers do not forget what happens after the click. That means that fragmented deliveries, delayed deliveries actually break the trust and you're risking of losing your loyal customers. In the meantime, the complexity of the logistic has exploded. And yet, a lot of brands try to run end-to-end logistic by themselves. However, running it at scale, running it cross-border, and and delivering the constant service. Let's see if I can continue. Yes. And at the consistent service and speed is nothing that most of the brands can do by themselves today. So now, as I mentioned before, it is extremely important to be present on all of the sales channels in order to master unified commerce. However, it doesn't mean treating them equally. Let's have a look at the marketplaces. Marketplaces drive reach and discovery at scale. This is where the brands drive majority of the outbound volume. And yet they're coming at the cost of the margins and the data ownership. Then we have the social commerce, which is booming currently. Social commerce is digital native, it is trend driven, it is fast moving. However, it's also algorithm dependent and shifting very fast. And then you have own.com, the most strategic channel of them all. Own.com is where you drive the highest margins, you obtain the customer richest insights, as well as you maintain the ownership of the pricing, as well as branding and customer experience. Own.com remains the most flexible and profitable sales channel of them all. But it's not only another sales channel. Own.com is the brain behind the whole e-commerce setup. And while you are building the commerce stack around it, you're creating one source of truth that then powers all of the other sales channels, from the marketplaces to the social commerce. Last but not least, own.com becomes the foundation for innovation because personalization, optimization, or scaling up is actually impossible if you understand or own it. So now, while trading on different sales channels, it's not a little bit too loud, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. So while being present on all of the sales channel, it is extremely important to also drive the customer satisfaction. And the best customer experience is not actually defined by your own brand. It is being set by the biggest players in the game. The platforms such as Zalando or Amazon have spent years of time to actually shaping up the customer experience, from seamless deliveries to free of charge returns. And it's extremely important to meet all of those expectations, all of the demands from your customers. So whether you are scaling up your own.com or you are unifying the operations across the different marketplaces, the bar is set high. So what does it mean? What are the customers expect? First, convenience. It became a standard. 82% of the customers say that convenience is a number one factor on where they shop online. Secondly, it is extremely important to drive and operate in different markets and operate according to the needs of those markets. What do I mean by that? Let me explain. If we're looking at the southern countries, they're extremely dependent on the cash on delivery option. Versus if you are willing to gain the trust of the Nordic customers, it is extremely important to make sure that you're offering next day refund as well as paperless returns. And then looking at the Polish customers, they're actually expecting the delivery to the parcel shop. And then we have returns. Returns became the signal of trust. Returns is not just another nice to have option, but they also influence on how the repeated purchases are being made and when the repeated customers are actually coming back. Last but not least, sustainability. Big topic currently among our generation. Zalando research shows that 60% of the Gen Zs are actually willing to pay more if the product is sustainable. Therefore, having the sustainable packaging as well as aggregated shipments is not a good to have anymore, but it's an expectation from the customer. So now we have a wide demands and wide expectations from the customers that needs to be met, and brands need to make sure to build the infrastructure around it, meaning that you are adapting to the local needs. That means that you're supposed to deliver the parcel not only to a customer, but delivering it as a local. Secondly, it is extremely important to make sure to enable the wide network of the shipping services in order to make sure that you are actually delivering the article and offering cash on delivery in Italy, as well as you're offering the drop off at the parcel shop for Polish customers. And last but not least, it is extremely important to build the infrastructure that will adapt to the fast changing needs and expectations of the customers, as well as to adapt to different market channels and the markets itself. So now, while being present in all of the market channels, a lot of brands are actually facing another problem, which is I cannot talk because I can hear myself. I apologize for that. So while being present on different market channels, brands are facing another problem, which is the fragmented stock. And this is where the fashion industry loses the billions of euros yearly. Around 25% of the fashion stock remains unsold. However, this is not necessarily the demand issue. This is often the distribution issue, meaning that the right product was actually stuck in the wrong place or it was siloed in the wrong market channel. While connecting the stock across channels and across border, you're making sure that you will be able to make the faster replenishment decisions. You are assuring that you will minimize the amount of split shipments, as well as you enabling the stock turnover of your articles without adding any further risk. In this sense, we're talking about unified view of demand, because you will be delivering to the point and to the channel where it will be most likely to convert and not where you intended. So now you have a problem, we do have a solution. Let me have a closer look on how ZEOS can power your own.com through 3 different pillars of values. And just a disclosure, we do operate on 13 different sales channels. However, I would like to specifically concentrate on own.com today, because as I mentioned before, own.com is actually the brain behind the whole commerce setup. So first, ZEOS enables the Zalando great experience across the Europe. You get the access to the 24 or 25 European markets, to 40 plus local carriers, more sustainable packaging, and the fast refurbishment. That means that we're offering the tier one service regardless of where the customers are. Secondly, connected network drives the profitable growth. We operate the stock across 12 fulfillment centers as well as 20 return centers. We do offer up to 3 days delivery returns back online and refurbishment services. We do offer hybrid fulfillment, ring fencing of your own.com, because this is where you actually gain the most of the margin and we're making sure that you're protecting it, as well as the bonded warehouses. If anybody has questions regarding the services, feel free to grab me for a coffee afterwards. So happy to discuss it in more detail. And third, we offer the speed to market to the scalable success by enabling the fast integration with different integrators which we are working with. And the best of it all, there was no long-term contracts or locks in with us. And we see immediate results at scale. The brands who are partnering with us saw more than 10% of the stock improvement performance. I know what you think. It sounds great in theory, but does it actually work in real life? Yes, it does. And the success stories of our partners are the best proof of that. Looking at first Pepper Jeans. Pepper Jeans started working with ZEOS in 2019, where they have enabled 19 markets for all of three their brands. In 2023, they expanded to First About You in only 56 days, and then expanded to Best Secret and Larry Doot. Pepper Jeans was the first brand whom we enabled the own.com with. And the results speak for themselves. They have unlocked 9 times sales growth since the start of the cooperation with us. TB International. They're one of the most trendy retailers in the streetwear who partnered with ZEOS to move from the wholesale to the omnichannel D2C. TB International have activated or started working with Zalando across 23 plus markets. They have enabled the Dev Shop as well as a TikTok, and this has enabled TB International to double the NMV in 2023. But what is the most impressive, I think, from this success story is that while TB International is outbounding around 1 million items monthly, they have succeeded to reduce the number of shipments by 1/3, which is impressive. Then they have Jacket. Jacket is the premium outwear brand who started cooperating with ZEOS while they saw the challenges through the Brexit. And ZEOS helped to move those challenges into the rapid growth. Jacket has expanded with ZEOS at 13 Zalando markets. And then they enabled the own.com and currently also operating on About You and Zalando. ZEOS helped Jacket navigate Brexit-related changes and expand to new markets, including Switzerland. Next success story can be you. So now, before I move to the questions, we do have the newsletter. And it's an exciting news, therefore please feel free to scan it. I'm no Gen Z, but I like the new subscription, so please feel free to scan it and actually subscribe to that. It's not another AI-powered newsletter, but rather generated by our colleagues. And it comes only 4 times a year, which means no fast, but only important updates worth to scroll through. All right. Done. Any questions? Then, thank you very much for joining.